Hi, in this video I'm going to be talking about one application of step time sequencing, and I'm going to use a simple system which consists of a sequencer, a very small synthesizer, and a vintage analog delay. There are many ways you can use step time sequencers, and there are many different designs. This particular one, which is called a René by Make Noise, is designed to be a Cartesian sequencer, so it has an X and a Y axis like René Descartes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as if it is four-step sequences. And this is controlling the little Arturia Microbrute. I'm going to set it up with in a simple configuration. Now, when I'm going to be working with this, I'm actually going to use any of the knobs on the top, not the brute factor so much, but any of these knobs at the top should be fine. And I'm going to just use the release time control and the volume control. I'm not going to touch the glide or the envelope amount, but the LFO is important because the LFO is actually what is driving the sequencer. Currently, when I have the amount down low like this, nothing is happening. You see, no lights moving. If I turn this up, so it is playing these four notes along here. If I make the LFO go faster, it goes very fast or slow. Now, if I was doing this in another context, I might use a drum machine clock or something to drive the sequencer. But today I'm just using the LFO in the synthesizer. Now, if I was just to get it going, you'll see if I hit, I can select my four different sequences by just selecting it with my finger. What I can also do though is use a knob to do it. So up here, so I can actually have my four sequences being selected in real time by me twiddling with the knob. So that will stop it from being a repeating pattern into something which is more random using the notes. Now, you'll notice this, the sequencer is controlling pitch, but we've also got a keyboard controlling pitch. And actually, they are both working together. If I was to go and make this play, you can see that the sequencer is being transposed by whatever note I'm playing on the keyboard. So we've got quite a lot of control over what can happen, but also quite a lot of potential surprise. So that is our basic control system. We can be playing along it, and we can be playing with the synthesizer controls. So by playing with the controls on the synthesizer and playing with the sequencer controls, we can get all sorts of things. What about if we don't like any of the pitches in the sequencer? So what we can do, if I just play this note as my basic note, I can select each of the notes that I want and I can move it around. I'm going to make that one the same, and I'm going to go here. So I've just tuned them the way I like it. Let me double check. And then we go to the next one. There it is. I can change this note. Or if I don't know what's going on, I can stop it and say, this note here, I want that to be that one. And then I can change the sequence around, retune it, whatever I want to do. So turning the amount of the LFO down turns off the clock. Okay, so that is half of the system. The other half is, once the sound is produced, I've got it going into this old analog delay, and that gives us another thing that we can play with. So let us try that. Let's turn the clock on. Oh, before I do anything, I should just play it manually. No sound. Turn it on. The blend between the direct signal and the delay signal, make it brighter. More feedback. Multiple echoes. And on a delay like this, you can push the feedback way up and it will feed back and take off. And if you're not careful, that will get really loud and just go very distorted. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. So, what else can we do? We can change the delay time. Make it go slower. Make it go fast. You'll notice that changing the delay also affects the feedback on an old analog delay like this. What else can you do to change the tempo? Well, this has got a tap tempo control. So what we can do with none of these lights lit up, we can play our sequence and tap it in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, now it's feeding back, but the delay time is the tempo that we did. If we want to, we can make it go dotted quavers, triplet quavers, also, if we want to, we can go mad and start modulating the delay time. So we sound very drunk. Go faster. I've got rid of the original signal. I've just got that delay. We're messing around with it. So if we want to, we can go into a very strange sonic territory. And the thing about a system like this is everything is under the control of your fingers. Everything is live. You can change things and go with the flow. You often only have a rough idea about what you're going to get. And what you do is you play along and you just change things and you go by feel. The more you practice with the instrument, or the more you practice with the entire system, the more you'll understand how to push it in the direction you want to go. One thing which is good to do with a system like this is to be playing with other people, so that somebody else might be playing either another synthesizer or an acoustic instrument or whatever, and then you can be shaping a sound around them. Another thing that you can do is you can actually have it so that one person plays this, one person plays that, one person plays this. What that means though is that if you don't develop your mental telepathy or your sign language, you can make a big mess. But that's beside the point. Having a system like this enables you to creatively flow with it, and you can come up with all sorts of interesting ideas. The only important thing to do is make sure you record everything, because you may only ever get that sound once.